I want to talk to you today about dealing with conflict. I think if you said to me you enjoy dealing with conflict, I'd probably question where you're at. I don't think anyone enjoys dealing with conflict. But unfortunately, if you're in leadership and Christian leadership, basically leadership is a series of difficult conversations. We have to deal with conflict. And I recall going back 20, 25 years, listening to this preacher called Francis Frangipan, and there was a phrase that he used, and he said this: believe the best and pray the rest. And you know what? It's always stuck with me. Have I always implemented it at times of conflict? No, but it's always there. That when you have to deal with a difficult person or a difficult situation, you have to come from that standpoint of believing the best for them. And even if it's difficult, and even if they are difficult, you pray the rest. So I want to talk to you about 5 points that I've learned as I've dealt with conflict with people over the years. One of the statements that I want to make to start with is that in the name of grace, don't sacrifice truth. It's so key that we have to, as a leader, speak the truth, and sometimes that hurts. The first thing I want to talk about is when we're going into a conflict situation is we have to ask ourselves, number one, do I have a part to play in this? We have to self-reflect. We have to look at ourselves and say, was there anything I said or I did that could have caused this conflict in the first place? And if there is, we need to own up to that. We need to say sorry for that. We need to be upfront with that person. So firstly, do I have a part to play? Secondly, do I blame shift? Is that something that in a situation of conflict that I tend to do, but I need to be able to listen well in that situation. I need to be able to hear where the other person is coming from and not blame it onto someone else or something else. So that's the second question. Third question, do people know what I'm talking about? Because one of the things that I've recalled over time is as I go into a situation to discuss things, I need to be able to be kind, be honest, and be brief. If you come with a heart that is a heart after God, with a heart of compassion and kindness, you've already won half of the battle. You need to show them love. You need to show them acceptance and affirmation. But then you need to be honest. I've heard a lot of people trying to deal with conflict situations where they don't actually bring the truth. And they say so many words that actually no one knows what they're talking about. So we need to be honest. We need to come to the point. And we also need to be brief. Women, we have a tendency to use so many words, but get to the point, because it's so much easier to get to the point and then go from there. And then once you've had that conversation, 4 is bring hope. Bring hope to that situation so we can talk about forgiveness. We can talk about love, but also we can talk about the hope that is to come. And then finally pray with them. When we pray, our hearts unite together, talking to our Father together. So please don't opt out at the end. Join your hearts in prayer together to the Father who brings hope and love and joy.